All right, let's talk about mastering business automation. Today, we're diving into one of the most powerful tools out there right now, xAI's Grok API. So let me ask you something. Does your team feel like they're just drowning? In manual data entry, endless report summaries, all those clunky workflows? It's a problem everywhere, right? Just too much data and never enough time. But what if you could finally change all that?
Well, meet Grok. And that number you're seeing, 2 million, that is its massive 2 million token context window. Now, to put that into perspective, that means Grok can read, process, and understand hundreds of pages of really complex documents, all in one go, without losing track of anything. This isn't just some small upgrade. Nope. This is a total game changer for anyone dealing with large-scale data.
Okay, so let's dig in and see how this tech gives your team what I can only describe as business superpowers. The engine behind all this magic is Grok 4.20 beta. It's built from the ground up for speed, for accuracy, and for flawlessly doing what you tell it to do. Look, this isn't just about spitting out text. Think of it more like embedding an incredibly smart automated team member right into your workflow, ready to tackle your most complex tasks. And what's really powerful here is the flexibility. You get to pick the right tool for the job. You've got options. For those high-volume tasks where speed is everything, I'm talking processing thousands of customer reviews. Grok 4 Lite is your go-to workhorse. For something more nuanced, like multi-step summarization, Grok 4 is perfect. And for those absolutely mission-critical tasks where you cannot afford a mistake, like legal contract analysis, well, that's where Grok 4 Heavy comes in, delivering with absolute precision. It's all about that perfect balance of speed, cost, and accuracy. Okay, next up, let's get into what makes Grok a true game changer. Its agentic toolkit. Now, what does that mean? It means Grok doesn't just sit there and process information. It can actually do things. It can take action. And getting started? It's surprisingly simple. You just register on the xAI developer portal, you generate your API keys, and you're ready to authenticate. Now, for the developers out there who need every ounce of performance, Grok also supports the gRPC framework. That's a fancy way of saying it gives you a major speed boost over traditional REST APIs, which is perfect for real-time, high-volume stuff. At the very heart of Grok's power is something called function calling. This is the secret sauce. This is what turns it from a passive brain into an active agent. It basically lets Grok pause what it's doing, reach out to external tools, like your company's own database or a public API, grab the data it needs, and then come back to finish the job with way more accuracy and context. It's incredible. And this really breaks down that action loop perfectly. So first, you tell Grok what tools it's allowed to use. Then, when it's working on a problem and needs one, it'll ask for permission. Your system then goes and does the thing, like looking something up in a database. And finally, Grok takes that brand new information and uses it to give you a much smarter, more complete answer. It's a really simple but incredibly powerful process. But hey, what if you're not a developer? What if you don't code? Well, the good news is you don't have to. Grok's power is being made accessible to everyone, right through the tools your business probably already uses every day. So here we have two amazing ways to get started. On one side, you've got Zapier. That's your no-code solution. It lets you instantly connect Grok to like 8,000 other apps for simple trigger-based automations. Then on the other side, you've got Latenode. That's a low-code platform where you can visually build out much more complex, multi-step workflows and even your own custom AI agents. Let's make this real with some examples using Zapier. Okay, imagine. A new lead pops up in Salesforce. Boom. Grok automatically enriches it with public data. A support ticket comes into Zendesk. Bam. Grok drafts the first reply for you. A Zoom meeting just ended. Wham. A perfect summary lands in your inbox. We're talking about automation that directly translates into hundreds of hours saved. All right, now let's think bigger. What happens when one AI agent just isn't enough to tackle a huge problem? Simple. You build an entire AI team. This is where things get really wild. Instead of just one AI working on a problem, you can actually orchestrate a whole team of specialized agents. Think about it. One agent is your master researcher, another is your data analyst, and a third is your writer, synthesizing it all. They all work together in real time, cross-referencing everything to create reports that are so much deeper than any single agent could ever produce on its own.
And you are in complete control of how big that team is. As you can see here, a smaller 4-agent team is perfect for quick, focused research. But when you need to do a really complex, deep dive analysis, you can instantly scale that up to 16 agents. It's basically like having a world-class research department on call, ready to go 24/7.
Of course, with all this power comes a really critical question, especially for businesses. What about security and control? Well, xAI has built Grok with enterprise-grade security right from the start. We're talking SOC 2 compliance, data encryption from end to end, and full compliance with privacy rules like GDPR. Plus, with things like role-based access control and detailed audit logs, you always have total visibility and control over who is doing what within your organization. But honestly, this is the single most important security promise for any business. There is a strict no training on your data policy. That means your confidential data, your prompts, your customer info, none of it is ever used to train xAI's models. Your data stays private, it stays secure, it stays yours, period. So, what does all of this actually add up to? Let's talk about the bottom line. Let's talk about the return on your investment. 70%. That's the number that really matters here. The benchmarks are showing that automated research pipelines built with Grok can cut down the time your team spends on manual review by over 70%. And that's not just a nice efficiency boost, that's a massive strategic advantage. It frees up your best people to focus on innovation, not just boring admin work. So we end right back where we started, with superpowers. You now have the ability to process huge data sets, to act on information, to automate entire workflows at scale. The real question isn't about the tech's power anymore. It's about your vision. Now that your team has these kinds of capabilities at their fingertips, what are you going to build first?